new schedule. This is a Wednesday, but we're going to be on Tuesdays. 1:15 is the hopeful time if we can get everything right today. We had some problems. We come out on Wednesday, but we're here. It's Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. The biggest game of the NBA season up to this point. The Mavs are down 2-0. The Celtics can basically win the NBA Finals tonight. And joined, as always, unfortunately, by my fellow partner, Wayne Goldsworthy. How you doing today, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you? He's got that. His family could die in a car crash, and that would be his. Good. How are you? So, when are we going to see you on camera?
I don't really know.
All right, let's make a bet. If the Mavs win the finals, you're on camera the rest of ever.
Yeah.
Deal?
Yes.
You're not going to have to sweat too much over that because they're not going to win the finals. Let's talk about these.
There's an ad already. 3 minutes.
Let's talk about these Dallas Mavericks. They're down 2-0. They were not competitive in Game 1.
What's Luka's injuries? It's like someone is left.
Yeah, Luka's injured every freaking game. Everybody's injured. It's June. It is June. Wow. The Mavs were not competitive in Game 1. Game 2, they looked a little bit more competitive. They only lost by 5. But, nope, that's not that. They lost by 7 in Game 2. Lost by, let me do some math here, 18 in Game 1. They just don't look competitive at all. And I feel like I'm watching a circus show. I feel like I'm watching a clown show. It's really what it is. The big thing that got me mad is Maxi Kleber's in the game. Which, if you know anything about anything, Maxi Kleber is not a player you want in the game. And role players in this series have felt like they don't play like role players at all. We saw plenty of times in Game 1 and Game 2, Derek Jones, P.J. Washington, Maxi Kleber driving to the lane one-on-one. First off, those guys are not really drive players. They're spot-up shooters, right? And they're driving to the lane like they're the stars. I don't know what's different about this series compared to everything else. And it just feels like everything was perfectly fine all series long, right? Or all playoffs long. It would be Luka, Kyrie, let's run the offense, and then we can have everybody else do their part. Okay? Now, role players are making plays that they think they're stars. And they're role players for a reason. They ain't stars. So, too many times in this series, we've seen Maxi Kleber go at it to the hoop. First off, Maxi Kleber is there to shoot the ball. And I saw in Game 2, specifically, him being left wide open and not shooting the ball. That's your entire job, is to go out and shoot the ball. He can't do it. Even when he's left wide open, he just holds the ball, okay? There's double teams that are just inexcusable from Dallas. You cannot double team the Celtics because when they have their healthy team, and probably Porzingis not going to play much of the series, he might be out for the rest of it. But when the Celtics are healthy, even when they're not, with Horford, he's a great three-point shooter. So you have Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Al Horford. All guys that, when left open, can hit an insane amount of shots. So when you double them, it just leaves open lanes on the outside. It's just elementary mistakes I've seen from the Dallas Mavericks. They're doubling guys that left open for a three, right? The Celtics are a team that hits threes unlike any other. They are not contesting the ball when it's up, right? They're making stupid plays. And it's just like, how have they been this hot from the end of the regular season to the start of the postseason to where now they just get to the NBA Finals and don't know how to operate? They double almost every play. I don't know what Jason Kidd's doing, doubling every play. They've had so many turnovers in this series. Guys are just going right at players that they shouldn't be. Josh Green, Derek Lively, Derek Jones, guys that should just be doing their role. There's a reason Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively are two of the highest percentage guys in the league. They don't take dumb shots. And in this series, they have taken dumb shots, which is just a recipe for disaster, and that's why they're down 2-0 in the series. They threw 0 lobs in Game 1. They were a little bit better in Game 2, but still, this is a team that they can have Luka get hot when he gets hot, and he was on Sunday night. Luka was on, and when he's not, let's have Derek Lively be a lob threat. Let's have Derek Jones be a lob threat. Okay? Luka's defense has been horrendous in this series. He can't defend to save his life, which I thought was a a thing of the past because in the Timberwolves series, he had some decent defense. Not in this series. He has not been playing a lick of defense. He's kind of back to before the All-Star break type of defense. And it ain't going to cut it when you're playing against the best team in the league. It's just, you have Maxi Kleber out there for 16 minutes. Why are you playing Maxi Kleber 16 minutes? He can't defend. He can't shoot. Guess how many points he scores? 0. He scores the same as me and you. Why is he out there?
Why am I not getting paid then?
Why is he out there? He grabbed 2 rebounds. Good job, Maxi Kleber. I don't know why he's out there. Jason Kidd never really played him in the series before. And now he's just going to be like, yeah, let me play Maxi Kleber some minutes. Why, Jason Kidd? Why? It feels like they've just abandoned everything they know, okay? There's a great saying out there is we got to do what we did that got us here. The Mavs did not get to the NBA Finals on accident. Okay? They had a recipe for success, and it worked. Do what you did to get you there. There's a reason why they're there. They have just abandoned their game plan altogether and have looked like a bunch of imbeciles this entire series. And that's why they're down 2-0. Your thoughts on the 2-0 in the series? What have you seen from either Boston looking good or Dallas looking bad?
I think it's been more Dallas has been looking bad. Like you were talking about, they're double teaming against one of the probably the most stacked roster in the NBA, leaving wide open threes. Like you were talking about, they're making simple mistakes that cannot be happening in the NBA Finals. So I feel like it is definitely more Dallas is being bad and Celtics being really good.
I mean, and this is the difference of the game. It's sloppy mistakes. They had 15 turnovers on Sunday. 15. You cannot turn the ball over 15 times and expect to win a
regular game.
Expect to win a regular game, let alone the NBA Finals. Okay? They fouled them 17 times. They were out-rebounded. Okay? They were just a team that just looked lost.
Wow, it was horrendous in that third quarter.
They looked like a team. They looked like a team that's ready to prepare for the NBA draft lottery, not a team in the NBA Finals. Okay? Now, usually how series goes, in a 7-game series, when a team goes up 2-0 and they win both games at home, you go back game 3, the team at home is going to win that game. Dallas should win tonight, and I think they should win by a good bit. Okay? It's just kind of something as the season's on the line. We're down 2-0. We're in front of our home crowd. That was bullshit. We were down 2-0 in front of our home crowd, right? And you win the game to keep the season alive, right? And there's a saying, the series doesn't start till the home team loses, which I don't know how true that is because, I mean, the home team can win every game, and the series didn't start, but it goes 7 games, and the home team wins. Anyway, this, it doesn't look good for Dallas. And the thing I would give Dallas a little bit of hope for, their mistakes are easy, simple mistakes. It's not like they're not shooting the ball well, and they're shooting it fine, okay? But it's simple stuff. Hey, let's not double, okay? Because what Boston will do, and Boston shot the most threes in the NBA this year, okay? They live and die by the 3. They shoot as many threes as possible, right? If they're not shooting well, they're going to lose. If they're shooting right, they're going to win, right? And 64 and 18, they shot well 64 times. They didn't shoot well 18 times. So when Boston is this volume of a three-point shooter, and when you double them, it's a simple of we're going to swing it, 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 we're going to get to the corner, and whoever it is, either Al Horford, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, or Drew Holiday, whoever it is, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, whoever it is, we have confidence that they can hit a wide open shot because they're in the NBA and they're playing in the finals on the Boston Celtics. Okay? So it's stupid stuff. It is getting away from what works. And I've seen it too many times where the Celtics get on a run, right? And Luka kind of has a moment of, who cares about the team? I got to go on myself. And it usually doesn't work, right? Easy defensive lapses. When the Mavs play them straight up, and when Dallas is on them like they should be, they're beating them, right? They're getting to their spot, and they're getting to the shots that they like. But when they play this double team BS defense, and you allow the Celtics to shoot threes, it's over. So if you are Dallas, what adjustments would you make?
Definitely stout double teaming. That's definitely one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't really much for them to do. It's just to not make simple mistakes that they are making.
And we're watching some film right now. I'd like to take you. I'd like to paint the picture. Right, it's a 5-point game. Okay.
My question, like, they held Boston to 103 for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And only scored 2 points.
So let's hear it here.
Literally
the Celtics
nobody was
have not
scoring.
been able to score. There's 57 seconds left. Boston leads 103-98, okay? Jason Tatum drives. He lost it. It's picked up by P.J. Washington. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
You just got to wait a second until it goes up, and then
So Tatum drives, blocked, taken by P.J. Washington, okay? There's 54 seconds. Kyrie Irving's got the ball in the front court, okay? P.J. Washington is cutting. Why are you shooting? He's shooting a shot where there's 2 guys on him.
He needs to pump. I feel like he needs to pump
51 seconds when you could hit Kyrie back there, or you can calm it down. Instead, with 51 seconds left in a finals game, you are having P.J. Washington take the biggest shot of the game. Let me give you
Drew Holiday and Derek White.
Let me give you a spoiler alert. He missed. He got blocked, okay? This is what I'm saying with guys. The Dallas Mavericks work so well in space, right? They work so well out in space making shots. They have gotten into small areas and tight areas. It doesn't work, right? And we're still having Maxi Kleber play minutes in the NBA Finals. I mean, this guy, I would love to shoot him in the... I'm not going to say that. No, I'm not going to say that. Shh. I'd love to shh.
What is...
He can't defend, and let's paint the picture again. It's a 103-98, okay? There's 35 seconds left. You get a stop, you get a 3 the other way, it's a 2-point game, right? They get a switch. First off, why is Maxi Kleber, with 36 seconds left in a finals game, playing? Why is he playing? I don't understand it from Jason Kidd. It is something...
I think he's thinking about beating his wife too much, not thinking about the NBA Finals.
It is just, they've gone out of it. Listen, okay? Let me give you something here.
That guy is hot trash. He literally hasn't played any of this, and then you're going to play him in...
So, listen. He plays the first 3 games against Minnesota. How many minutes does he play? 0. What's the series? 3-0. Coincidence he plays 13 minutes and they lose game 4? Coincidence? He plays 9, they win. He's played 16 and 19 minutes.
19 minutes in game 1.
He's playing 16 and 19 minutes. Guess what? In 35 minutes of play. In 35 minutes of play. He's gotten 2 points. He's gotten 2 points. He's shooting 1 of 5. Jason Kidd.
And he has 2 rebounds, too.
Jason Kidd. You did not play him at all in this series against the OKC Thunder. You played him a little bit against Minnesota. He sucked. And
he looks like he's going to go to do the splits. He's got both of his legs anchored in.
And so you decide, hey, let me play Maxi Kleber. And I rarely ever say this, okay? And it's not right. It's probably just a Mavs fan trying to cope. But this series looks very close to being fixed. I don't think it is, okay? But just the weirdness of stuff happening that, like, oh, yeah, okay, Maxi Kleber never plays. We're going to have him play 20 minutes. We're going to have 15 turnovers. It's just like, it obviously isn't. But watching the Mavs, it looks like you can put the circus music.
It looks like they're getting paid just to
circus. It looks like you can put the circus music on every single play, and you would think you're in the freaking circus in 1907. Okay? So there's 36 seconds left in an NBA Finals game. Celtics are up by 5. You need to stop. Why is Maxi Kleber in the game? I don't know. But you have P.J. Washington on Jaylen Brown. Can't cover him. They get the switch. Now it's Jaylen Brown on Maxi Kleber. He's licking his chops saying barbecue chicken. Drives right to the lane. Defense collapses. And here's the big thing right here. And we can switch this camera around here. Let's not do that. Let's take a peek right here, right? You take a look at Jaylen Brown. Kleber gets the switch on, and he's beat, right? Jaylen Brown has beat Maxi Kleber. So you have Luka Doncic right here.
Sitting in the paint.
He could go make a contest on it, okay? So what if you draw a foul? There's 32 seconds left. You're down 5. What does Luka decide to do? Not guard him and step away and let Jaylen Brown put the Boston Celtics up by 7. Watch it again right here. So they get the switch. Kleber's on him. He's so lost. And Luka could defend and just decides not to. That is what the Mavs. You could sum that entire play up to that's what the Mavs have been this series. The Celtics have not blown me away in how great they've been playing. I mean, they have just been average. And this is funny. We have.
What?
So
MLB Unforgettable Moments is the channel, and they have Game 3 full highlights.
So I just don't understand. I don't understand how the Dallas Mavericks can go from being so good to being so bad in a span of a week. Maybe it's the rest. Potentially. But the Mavs have just looked absolutely awful. They've looked pitiful. In Boston, if this was any other team, the Celtics would either be down 2-0 or 1-1. Right? But the Mavs can't hit a shot.
Wait, who'd be down?
They'd be down 2-0 or it's 1-1. I didn't say it'd be down both. It's tied. Who's winning?
Point differential.
So that's what I don't understand. Is just how quickly they can go from a team that looks so smooth, and when Luka drives, he can either dish it out to a 3 and the guy's going to hit it open, to now a team that, hey, the role players think, oh, it's the NBA Finals, let me try to be the damn hero, when you're not, okay? And that's the big problem. I think the biggest problem, though, is a specific Australian, a specific flat earther, if you will. A specific man that gets booed and usually feeds off of the boos. Not in this series. Kyrie Irving utterly sucks. In this series, he has been awful. And that leads us into our next question. Who's the biggest struggle of the Dallas Mavericks? Who's the biggest to blame? Kyrie Irving. He has shot 6 of 19 in Game 1 and 7 of 18 in Game 2. Awful shooting, night in and night out.
That's horrendous.
These first 2 games.
That's horrendous.
He has shot, in this series, he has shot 13 of 37.
He's missed every 3. Every 3 he's attempted.
He's 0 of 8 in threes. He doesn't play great defense.
Well, he's only gotten that many points off of assists.
He doesn't, if he's, like, Jason Tatum, right? Jason Tatum did not play good in Game 2, right?
Well, he's got more people around him to make up for that.
Jason Tatum played awful in Game 2, okay? But he shot 6 of 22, Jason Tatum. The difference between him and Kyrie, Tatum grabbed 9 boards and had 12 assists. So even though he wasn't shooting well, he still made up for it. Kyrie's not shooting well, and he ain't making up for it anywhere. He's gotten 2 rebounds. He had 6 assists, which is cool, but it's not anything game-changing.
Think about the 6 assists,
where you
that's
want
only
to
really 12 points.
Make up for it.
So.
And in this series, you need a lot more ball movement. And the Celtics, if you watch the Celtics, they have not had a guy go off in this series yet. I mean, the top scorer in Game 1 was Porzingis with 22, right? So everybody's getting involved. Complete team basketball. That it's a ripple effect that now if you're getting shots to guys that you don't expect to give shots to, they're more confident down the stretch and they can make more shots. When you're shooting so much like you are with Kyrie Irving, you don't really get the role players involved at all. And 13 of 37. And the biggest thing that's killing Dallas, what's killing them right now, is the whole reason they brought Kyrie in is they had problems with Luka when he's off the court. We need a scorer, okay? When Luka's off the court, those are the biggest minutes of the season, okay? Those, Luka's going to play 40 minutes or whatever, right? In those 8 minutes where Luka's off the court, Kyrie needs to step up.
Half of these shots look like pure luck that I'm looking at. It's crazy.
Luka is averaging 40 minutes in the series. When Kyrie is playing and Luka's not, that is the entire game. If the Mavs can stay even when Luka's off the court, they're going to win, right? Because when Luka's on, they're better. When he's off, of course, they're worse. And if they can stay even, they'll be able to even it out. They weren't. Because Kyrie Irving, for some reason, thinks it's okay to shoot 13 of 37. And the boos are going to get worse if he comes back for Game 5. This could be a sweep. It could be a sweep. It could be over.
I don't know, man. Kyrie said he's coming back for Game 5.
Yeah, he says he's coming back for Game 5. Woohoo. He might come back on Cancun for Game 5. But the Mavs have just looked uncompetitive so far. I'll ask you this. I might ask you something. I was going to say something.
I don't know. Watching this film, it's just...
The film.
Terrible basketball.
It's not even film. This is highlights.
No, that was literally just me right there.
So...
I'm literally Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, so Dallas, they switch too much. They double team.
And
double teaming,
I've seen so many open threes here.
Double teaming is fine if you can get the ball on the double team. If you can't,
Jaylen Brown just...
it's awful. I'll go back probably for our final film session of the day.
Probably.
I just want to take a peek here. Stop showing my face. Of how bad Luka Doncic has been just IQ-wise, okay? So, Luka, for some reason, okay, look, of course, the Mavs are down 48-27, whatever. Of course, right?
48-29 now.
So, watch here. For some reason, Luka decides to double, okay? Which means he's directly responsible for that three because he decided to double, okay? So, he's already responsible for 3 points for Boston, okay? They have a chance to go score here. Dallas. Luka goes behind the back for some reason, doesn't play defense. Jaylen Brown dunks it. That is such bad IQ from Luka. He doubles, allows a three, and then on the other end is lazy on his dribble and allows a two from Jaylen Brown. Those are
He just let up 5 points in 5 seconds.
Yeah. And it could be more because they just lost the possession. They could have went down and scored, right? Yeah. So it could have been a 7-point swing or an 8-point swing. It's like throwing a pick on the goal line in the NFL. It's just... You could put circus music around every single play in Dallas. And Luka's making up for it. He's shooting the ball fine. He's 32 and 30 points in this series. But what did you have in this series? What was your prediction? You had the Mavs going up 2-0, if I remember correctly.
And then the Celtics coming back and it being 2-2.
And what did you have, Mavs in 7?
6. Yeah, 7.
Mavs in 7. I had Celtics in 6, I believe. Did I? I think it's on this paper somewhere. Anyway,
it's in the previous.
It's in the previous archives.
It's in literally the previous episode
of Talking About Balls. But anyway,
damn, frick.
Who's this? Is this you, Kirko Chains?
Yeah, that's me.
So
I forgot I put that down on that paper, Kirko Chains.
So yeah, I mean it's been a boring series. I want to rant for a second. It's been so long in the sport of basketball since we've had a good tournament. March Madness has not delivered. It was the worst tournament ever this past year. And then realistically, have there been any big moments in these playoffs? We had one buzzer beater, Jamal Murray in Game 2 against the Lakers.
And that's in Game 2, so it's not really
in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, like we need a historic, iconic moment. Speaking of iconic moments, nice little segue. We're going to do our top 5 most iconic moments of the NBA Finals. That was the weirdest
transition that you never should have done, but somehow managed to make it.
Top 5 moments of the NBA Finals. Let's get into it. Like I said, we have not had iconic moments.
I don't have these ranked 1 through 5. I should probably do that.
We need them ranked. We need them ranked, yeah. But we need an iconic moment soon. It seems like since, 2018, 2019, like we just don't get the moments like we used to. What's the most iconic moment since 2020? I mean, Giannis having 50 points in the finals. Like, is that the cream of the crop? Is that the best it gets?
This is definitely not a great...
In the NBA Finals, so here are some of the iconic moments that make basketball special. Let's get into it. Number 5, my number 5 most iconic moment in the NBA Finals. Ron Artest hits a 3 in Game 7. Lakers and Celtics. Lakers are up by 3. Kobe Bryant passed the ball in a big moment. Shocking.
Kobe Bryant passed the ball to me.
And Ron Artest,
he goes into the interview. He's like, yeah.
Ron Artest hits a 3 to win the Lakers the NBA Finals. Anything in a Game 7 is just amplified, and when you hit a 3 like that,
I need to see that box score Game 1 because the Mavs definitely came back in that third quarter.
They did, but they lost it.
I mean, obviously. I mean, look at this.
Your number 5 moment.
My number 5 moment is 2011 76ers versus Lakers, the AI crossover. I don't know if it's 2011. It's definitely 2001.
2001.
Yep, I figured.
I was gonna say
I was gonna
2011.
say AI was not.
I was gonna say 2011. Is he talking about just playoffs, not finals?
Yeah, no. It's 2001.
You know,
Definitely.
Allen Iverson in 2011. You know, you just go.
I started reading that. I was like,
You know, Kobe and Shaq in 2011.
Yeah.
That's a good moment. I should probably have that on over Ron Artest 3. That was a bad moment by me, but I think my list will make up for it.
Probably.
Let's move up to number 4. MJ Shrug and the Portland Trailblazers in the finals after he hits a big shot on Clyde Drexler. It might be the most iconic, like, I wouldn't say celebration, but just move. Like, everybody knows the shrug. I mean, it's not really MJ creating a shrug. Everybody's shrugged before he did that, but...
Don't you dare talk about Black Jesus like that ever again.
But yeah, the MJ Shrug is my number 4 moment.
My number 4 is the MJ flu game.
Oh my God, you're killing me with this list. That's another good pick. The MJ food poisoning game, by the way.
Yeah,
the flu.
I'm
game.
calling it
the
flu
MJ
game. I don't really care.
hungover game because he's gambling.
Oh, go figure, another Luka turnover.
Game 5, 1997 NBA Finals against the Utah Jazz. MJ's flu game. Yep, pretty cool. Speaking of MJ, he might be the most dick-rided athlete ever. Do you know when MJ scored 30,000 points? Okay, they stopped the game and gave him a whole trophy. A trophy as big as like the NBA's championship trophy. You know that?
Nope.
He got a whole trophy. They stopped the game. They gave Michael Jordan, when he scored 30,000 points, they gave this man a whole ass trophy for getting 30,000 points. Then now my glorious king, LeBron James, gets 40,000. Oh, you're not going to say blah, 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 blah. He sucks. MJ got a whole damn trophy at 30,000 points. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, let's move on to number 3. Speaking of threes, Ray Allen hitting a 3 against the San Antonio Spurs. James catches, puts up the 3, won't go. Rebound, Bosh, back out to Allen. His 3-pointer, bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining. The Spurs don't have a timeout.
Crazy.
He didn't have a double bang in his arsenal before that.
That makes sense.
His
first double bang was like
Curry.
2015.
It was Curry against the Thunder.
Yeah, that might have 2015.
2016. Go on.
Yeah. My number 3 final moment is the Kyrie step back on Steph, tied 96-96.
Nope, 89-89.
Yeah, I don't really know. But yeah,
You said 2 random numbers.
Yeah, I knew the game was tied. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
But
the funny thing about that was
the Kyrie step back.
The game was tied at 89, 4 minutes to go in the game, and just everybody missed. They had a great moment. It was 92-89.
Why is that bottom search even on?
Yeah, I don't care.
What?
It was 92-89. LeBron went in. He would have one of the best poster dunks of all time. He missed it and got fouled, but like imagine that would be the moment. He had a poster dunk on Draymond that he missed. It got fouled, like I said. But 92-89, 15 seconds left. He would have postered Draymond to win the finals. He missed it. But anyway, I kind of cheated on my number 1. It might be a cheat, maybe not. I don't know.
I saw what you have your number 1, and I have 2 moments from that finals, so I'm just kind of going with it. I'm pretty sure.
You have so you have that. I know what you got, but
Braun.
2 of the top 5 finals moments come within a minute of each other.
Yeah,
that's insane. Anyway, my number 2 spot. This has to be on your list. If it's not, you're gonna get crucified and killed. They swat at it and steal it. Chicago, 17 seconds for Game 7, or championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Michael Jordan over Byron Russell. Push off or not, we'll never know. His final shot as a Chicago Bull might be the most iconic moment in the NBA's history.
I should probably put that at my 5.
I don't have it on my list because you're a youngin'. I mean, you're a little.
All my moments are within 20 years from now. No,
you're a youngin'. You don't know.
23 years from now. Actually, no. The flu game was 1997, so like 27 years.
But the
now.
MJ final shot, Game 6, to put the Jazz away to win his 6th NBA title.
My number 2 is the LeBron chase down on Iguodala.
Okay. And then so you'll have Ray Allen at number 1?
Yes.
Okay. My number 1, I don't know if it's cheating or whatnot. I have the whole Cavs 3-1 comeback over Golden State.
Kyrie 3 on Steph, and the LeBron chase down is during that series, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A minute apart.
I just wanted to make sure.
But
I want to make sure I wasn't an actual idiot and thinking of the wrong series.
But
they played each other like 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
I cannot keep up.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There will never be a moment as big as that, in my opinion. So let's just set the scene. First off, it's a rematch of the finals. Okay, so in NFL terms, it's Chiefs-Niners. The Chiefs
4 years in a row.
The Chiefs are 17-0, or no, the Niners are. The Chiefs are 17-0, right? And they go up 28-0 at half, and the Niners come back 28-0 to beat the undefeated Chiefs.
My bad.
The Warriors were the best team of all time. If they would have won that game, they would have had the most wins in NBA history, 73-9. They swept their way to the NBA Finals. No, they didn't. My bad.
I think they lost one game. They were 12-1.
No, they lost a lot. They came back from 3-1 to OKC in the Western Conference Finals and won the Western Conference Finals, which that was like the best comeback of all time at that time.
And then
3-1 in the Western Conference Finals. So
LeBron said, "Nah."
This is a 73-9 team that just demolishes them in 4 games. Klay Thompson, there was a moment that probably destroyed the series for the Warriors. After Warriors got up 3-1, Klay was in an interview. He said, "Oh yeah, he's got his feelings hurt. He's a little bit of childish." And then they went to LeBron in an interview. He's like, LeBron went to they were in LeBron interview. He's like, "What did Klay say?" He's like, "He got his feelings hurt," and LeBron just. And then Game 5. Listen, hear me out. When you're down 3-1, the toughest game to win is Game 5, right? Because if you win Game 5,
aren't you away too?
You're away Game 5, not every time, but you're away
Game
Game
5.
5.
I'm pretty sure in that series.
Here's the path to get back in, right? You win Game 5, okay? Now you have momentum and you're home. You're going to win Game 6. Momentum at home. Now you're going back to Game 7. You just won the last 2 games. You have all the momentum. You're going to win the series. So Game 5 is the one where it's like, okay, we got to struggle and get this one. So Game 5,
if they don't win, it's obviously series over.
They played 4 consecutive Game 7s, or 3 consecutive. Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7 were all Game 7, or all were the series on the line for the Cavs, and so it was LeBron and Curry. There's just never going to be a time like that where those were the 2 biggest stars, maybe in sports. Steph Curry was the guy, right? LeBron was the older guy that had been there a couple times, and he just couldn't get over the Warriors' hump, right? And 73-9, down 3-1. It goes to a Game 7. It's a back-and-forth game. Nobody can make a shot. It's 89 for 3 minutes long, and LeBron gets the block and Iguodala. And it's now still tied. And they both miss. Curry, Kyrie on Curry hits the biggest shot of his career, maybe one of the biggest shots in NBA history, definitely a top 3 biggest shot in NBA history. They go up 92-89. And the most underrated part of that, 15 seconds left, Warriors down 92-89. Steph Curry's got the ball in his hands. Game 7, the greatest shooter to ever live. And guess who clamps him up? Kevin Love clamps up Steph Curry for 20 seconds. Steph's dribbling behind his back doing this. And this was when Steph Curry was breaking ankles, when he's breaking Chris Paul's ankles and running loops through the Clippers, right? Kevin Love, 6'10", Kevin Love locked him up, 93-89. The funny thing about that series is that series sucked. Game 1, the Warriors blew them out. Game 2, the Warriors blew them out. Game 3, the Cavs blew them out. Game 4, the Warriors blew them out. Game 5, the Cavs blew them out. Game 6, the Cavs blew them out. The Game 7 was fun. But up to then, that was the most uncompetitive 7-game series, up to Game 7. But Game 7 made all up for it. That was the first ever NBA game I watched. I remember watching it. I had one of those
finals?
Yeah, Game 7 against Warriors.
That was one of the first basketball games I started watching too.
That was the first game I ever watched. I remember.
I used to I didn't know what basketball was in 2017. I mean, I was 9. I didn't really pay attention to it.
But I remember I had one of those. You ever see those gaming chairs that would sit on the floor and
yeah.
I remember
you still have it, or you did have it.
I remember sitting and watching that game. Because it doesn't matter
I
where
really didn't know what was happening. I just remember the Kyrie step back.
doesn't matter where
And
you
the LeBron
doesn't
dunk,
matter where you were,
block.
how old you are. At that time, you knew LeBron James, you knew Steph Curry, and you knew this was Game 7. It'd be for the championship, and it was just what a game. And so that is our top 5 finals moments. But how do the moments happen? Players rising to an occasion. So now here is our top 5.
Who do you have at center?
Starting here is our starting 5 NBA Finals. So throw out everything in the regular season.
It's Ray Allen.
Throw out everything in the regular season. Okay, only the NBA Finals matter at this juncture, right? Only the NBA Finals matter.
Look at
if
LeBron
you could
at
have
the
a
top of the
starting,
key on this, bro.
if you could have a starting 5 of just players in the NBA Finals, who would you pick? Let's get into it. Starting 5, I'll start at my guard, first guard spot. Irvin Magical Johnson, 42, 15, and 7 as a rookie in the NBA Finals. He was a Finals MVP as a rookie. And anyone will tell you, what is the hardest award to win in all of basketball? The Finals MVP. It's the hardest award to win in all of basketball. Because first off, you got to win the Finals. Anybody can win the final, or anybody can win the MVP. You got to win the finals to win the finals MVP, and then to be the MVP of the finals is something we'll never see a rookie win it again. So, my guard, Magic Johnson, 5-time NBA champion. Before Kobe and Shaq, there was Magic and Kareem, and they were the best duo of their time. 5 champs, Showtime Lakers. Magic's my guard.
My point guard, I have Irving Johnson as
Irvin Johnson, wow.
as well.
My 2 guard, pretty easy, of course. It's Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the 2 guard. A guy that scored 55 points in the finals, 6-0 in the finals. I'm not a big Jordan dick rider or meat rider, but you got to appreciate his greatness to an extent. Would he be able to compete with the likes of Delonte West and Nene and Luis Scola? Probably not. But he's still a really good player. I don't think he'd be able to hold Zaza Pachulia's jockstrap, but I mean that's neither here nor there.
No, Zaza would twist his ankle trying to block his shot.
So that's my 2. MJ, you'd probably have the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
my number 2 is also MJ.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan. My number 3 guard. This could be controversial.
Could be Ben Simmons.
This could be controversial, and I said 3 guard that doesn't exist. I love this shot. My 3rd guy, my small forward.
Fucking J.R. Smith.
51 points. 51 points in the finals in a game. Okay, down 3-1 in the finals. 41 points in Game 5. Clutchest defensive play in NBA history. Down 3-1. I understand he's 4-6 in the finals. Okay, but to get to the finals 10 times is incredible, and he's 4-6, but he had the better team probably 3 times out of those 10. I mean, he didn't. Maybe 4 or 5. He had the better team. And of course, in the Miami days, and then with the Lakers. But all 4 series against Golden State, he was wildly outmatched. I love his play. Just wildly outmatched. And
why is that a bad
51
moment?
points.
Doesn't even tie the game.
51 points in a finals game. Easily, I'll go LeBron James at the 3.
Yes, I also have LeBron James at my 3.
Here's my 4, and this is going to be my most controversial pick of the day. It's going to be the man from Greece, Giannis Antetokounmpo, as my 4. He only played in 1 final series to this point, but when he played in the final series, 35 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists, and the most points ever in a closeout game. In an elimination game to win a championship, 50 points. He scored 50 points to win the championship. I know he only played in 1 series. He had an amazing defensive block on DeAndre Ayton in Game 4 of the finals. Amazing defensive series. Offensively, he scored 35 points per game. And his team won the NBA Finals thanks to his heroics. He had a huge clutch alley-oop called the Valley Oop in game number 5 to beat the Suns as well. They were down 2-0 in that series. Giannis came to play, one of the best final series in recent memory. Went to 6, Bucks won because of Giannis Antetokounmpo. He comes in at my number 4 spot.
My number 4, I have Tim Duncan.
It's a great pick. That is a great pick. He was a Ray Allen 3 away, a Ray Allen miss away He's a Ray Allen miss away from being 6-0 in the NBA Finals.
I mean, that's just like straight solid points all through the line.
Like I said, Ray Allen makes a three. He is an NBA final. He's 6-0 in the finals.
20 rebounds in it. Holy shit.
One of the best performances of all time in the finals, literally.
Kobe Bean, bro.
You go back to 2003, okay? Tim Duncan, 21 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, 8 blocks. 8 blocks. And it's incredible. You just don't see people do that nowadays. In the NBA Finals, he was a great...
fundamental.
He was a defensive master. And like I said, he was a Ray Allen 3 away from being 6-0 in the finals. He's 5-1 in the finals. He made the playoffs every year of his career. The Spurs were just an amazing engine. Here's the big knock on Tim Duncan. Game 7 against Miami, he has Chris Bosh on him. He spins, goes to lay the ball up uncontested. He got too much on the finger roll and missed it. A layup in Game 7 of the finals. That's why people look at Tim Duncan as not a great playoff performer, if they would ever have an argument, which I wouldn't. So that's a great pick, Timothy Duncan. Okay. By the way, this nice little fun thing about Tim Duncan, he decided he was not going to be an Olympic swimmer. He was in Bahamas or somewhere like that. He was going to
drown.
He was wanting to be an Olympic swimmer, okay?
How the hell do you spell shit?
But he was afraid of sharks. Cool. There's no sharks in swimming pools. So it doesn't matter if you're afraid of sharks. You're swimming in an Olympic pool. Okay? So let's get into our center spot. Our final spot. So far I have Magic, Jordan, LeBron, and Giannis. He had Magic, Jordan, LeBron, and Timothy Duncan. My center, he only played in 2 finals. But when he played, boy, was this man good. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. He has to thank Michael Jordan for retiring for 2 years, letting him get this spot in the finals. But this is a guy that is the only player in NBA history to win MVP, Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and All-Star MVP. All four of them. And he did it in back-to-back years, which is incredible. 2-0 in the finals, of course. Maybe not. He lost earlier in his career in the finals, but a 2-time finals champ, 27.5 a game on 10 rebounds, 3.4 assists. But the big thing I picked Hakeem Olajuwon, guy could block some shots. He would block. He had a series where he averaged 4 blocks a game. You can't you don't do that nowadays. And some guys you could pick Shaq. The thing is, Hakeem Olajuwon ate his lunch in one of the finals. He blocked him like 5 times a game. So that's my starting 5 about NBA Finals.
My center, I have Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal. That's fine. The downside of that is not much. There's not much downside of that. He's a 3. I mean,
the downside of that is 3 points. There, 3-pointers, something like that.
3-time Finals MVP with the Lakers. He was the star of the show over Kobe Bryant early in their careers, of course. And then even with Miami, he was great. So that's a great pick. I would go Hakeem though. Just me. Let's get into our final segment, or one of our final segments. If the Boston Celtics win the NBA Finals, which very well, the next time we turn into this video, the next time we have our podcast, they would win the NBA Finals potentially, right? So let's get into the last 5 NBA champions. So those are the 2020 Lakers, the 2021 Bucks, the 2022 Warriors, the 2023 Nuggets, and the 2024 Celtics. If the Celtics win the finals, where would they rank in the last 5 champions? Let's get into it. This is a tough list. I mean, I was going back and forth. I could have the team at number 5 up to number 2. Like it's a lot. It's difficult. My number 5, I will start out with the 2022 Warriors is my weakest champion from that year. The reason of that, they were able to win 53 games, which is enough. They had Jordan Poole and Clay and Curry and whatnot and Draymond. For me, they had Wiggins, of course. There wasn't too much of a big-time inside threat. They had Kevon Looney starting. And they did struggle in those finals against Boston. They struggled throughout the playoffs. It feels like a weaker finals team. For me, a 3 seed entering the finals. I have Golden State number 5.
I have the Lakers bubble run
Really?
at number 5.
Okay. That's interesting. I don't say you're completely wrong.
I just, like,
I understand the bubble.
I was trying to do this yesterday during school, and I was going through this trying to figure out my 5 different NBA champions. And exactly like what you said, I was switching these. I think I did the list 3 times, and I still don't like my list, but...
I have the Lakers a little bit higher, not too much higher, but here's the thing. They went 52-19 before the season was canceled, so against other champions, they won more games in less time. Like Golden State, they won about the same amount in less time, and they didn't really struggle at all in the series. They never went to a Game 7 in the postseason. LeBron, AD, that's the problem. They don't really have much outside of that. They had Kyle Kuzma, they had Dwight Howard, not much inside, but the Lakers isn't bad. My number 4 is the 2021 Bucks. They were a good team. Listen, I mean, every team on here is a champion. They're all going to be great teams. But Milwaukee went to Game 7 against Brooklyn. They had an easier path. They played Atlanta in the conference finals, which, like, you're playing Atlanta in the conference finals. They only won 46 games. They were the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. It was a weaker East. They could have very well lost to Brooklyn, and they're my number 4.
Hey, my number 4 is the Warriors.
The Warriors, okay. My number 3 is the 2020 Lakers. 52-19, they were on pace to win 60-plus games. They did not struggle really.
I don't have anything for the OTAs.
They didn't really struggle at all in the postseason. They never went to a Game 7 in the playoffs. They were able to take Denver down in 5. They beat the Trailblazers in 4. They were a great team. They beat the Blazers in 5. But anyway, my number 2. Did you list 3 yet?
Yeah, my number 3 is the Bucks.
Bucks. Okay. So it's nice that we have the top 2. My number 2, I think this should be everybody's top 2 at least. These 2 teams. My number 2 is the 2023 Nuggets. It was a great team, and I said this last year. Wow, the Nuggets were the best champion since the 2018 Warriors. And I'm going to have to change it this year if the Celtics win. But Denver, 1 seed, 53 wins. Jokic, Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, Bruce Brown. They just fit so well. Great ball movement and a great team.
My number 2 is the 2024 Celtics.
Okay, interesting. You have the Nuggets over them.
Yes.
Okay, I'll have to disagree because I have the 2024 Celtics at number 1. There's no weakness in the starting 5. Drew Holiday is the top 10 player at his position. Derek White's the top 10 player at his position. Jason Tatum's the top 2-3 player at his position. Jaylen Brown's the top 4 or 5 player in his position. Porzingis is the top 10 player in his position. They don't have any player that's a weakness on the team. When I look back at Denver, I see Aaron Gordon was okay.
If anything, I feel like that makes sense for the Celtics to win. If anything, that would mean the Nuggets had a harder time winning the finals.
So?
Not as great as players.
They played the 8 seed in the finals.
Yeah, I get that. But, like...
Not as great as players, you agree? So that means the Celtics are 1 because they're the best team? You just said they don't have as great as players.
All right.
It's about the best team. If you win the finals in 4, that's more impressive than winning in 7.
Sure.
You lost 3 less games. It's impressive to lose.
Nah, I thought we were just doing this based off of their...
Path?
Not exactly the...
No, just rank the last 5 champions.
Not exactly based off a team.
Well, the Nuggets' path was awful. They played the 7-seed Lakers in the conference finals.
But I was getting at that the team was not good. Michael Porter was not great in his
position. They were a great team.
He's not great in his position.
He was last year. He was the second best guard in the league in the playoffs last year.
In the playoffs, that's about it.
He was great. He averaged 28 a game in the playoffs. Okay. My number 1 is the Celtics. They have so much depth on the squad, and I think they're pretty deserving as the number 1 spot. NFL is kind of starting up a little bit. OTAs are here. Every single team is on OTAs today, and that is interesting for...
Where did the ref come from?
For different...
Look at the ref
of players that are waiting.
Nowhere.
He slides down. Are waiting for different players to play. How much do you read into? I mean, it's happened every year. We had, Chris Jones last year. He missed 2 games. came back. How much do you read into players not showing up for OTAs?
I don't read much into it until it's closer to the season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's June 12th, 13th. What's today's date? The 12th, right? Yeah,
June 12th.
It's June 12th. I mean, it's expected for the big stars not to show up.
No, it's not. It's not expected.
That's all you. No, I get that, but that's all
But
you hear about is big names not showing up.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't read much into it until it's July.
What's concerning is Aaron Rodgers not showing up because of an injury that, he's 40 years old, right? And he set out a false, I wouldn't say narrative, but a false statement that he'd be able to return last year on his torn Achilles. He probably rushed it just a little bit too much, trying to get back. And what happens with the Jets? Because the Jets are in a spot. And we're going to talk more about the NFL. When the NBA is over, we'll talk a little bit about the NBA draft if we maybe.
I mean, this year's draft is kind of
the only thing that intrigues me is Bronny James.
Alex
see where
Sarr.
that goes.
I think that's really the only guy I know besides Bronny James.
So we'll talk more about the NFL. We're trying to get in the summer. We'll try to really dive into every team and get predictions and whatnot. But what concerns me is the New York Jets because they have been set up so well. I mean, Mike Williams, Hassan Reddick, Tyron Smith,
Ian Book,
just so many great players that they brought in, and they were in a spot last year to contend. They should be getting better. The only thing that matters for them is their quarterback play, right? With Breece Hall is ready to explode, Garrett Wilson's ready to explode. Mike Williams, he'll be great in his 3 games that he plays. There's just going to be great players on this team that they're ready to win a Super Bowl next year. And I saw a great graph. So this was, you ever see, there was this graph. You listening?
Yeah.
Teams' last winning season, okay? 28 of them are in the Biden presidency. Their last winning season was since 2020.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 of them are in the Trump presidency, 2016 to 2020. 1 team was in the Obama presidency, the New York Jets.
So before
their last winning season was before 2016. And the best thing about that, their last winning season, they didn't even make the playoffs. They went 10-6 and missed the playoffs, if I remember correctly. They had a Week 17 game against the Lions and lost. And, wild stuff.
He has trouble with the snap.
But yeah, that's what really concerns me is about the New York Jets.
Did he break his hip from the celebrations?
Because they have a chance to do really special things, and the Jets fans have waited a long time to get a winning culture around the New York Jets, and they just can't have it.
I mean, if your Jets are doing bad, you still have the Giants.
Yeah, because they've been great. I'm like, there's 2 sides of. You could either be.
I remember when that was the coolest thing that ever happened.
You could either be Yankees fan, Yankees, Giants, Knicks, or you could be a Nets fan, a Mets fan, and a Jets fan. I just found out that they all rhyme just now. Mets, Jets, Nets. I guess those are the different sides of New York. Like nobody likes those teams really. But the Jets have waited so long to get a great team, and I want to see the Jets make a run because I think the NFL is better when these New York teams are better, except for the Giants. Screw the Giants.
The Giants haven't been good since 2018. Well, they went to the playoffs last. Well, to the Vikings. That's not saying much for playoffs. But I mean, yeah, last time they were actually good was 2018. So
the Giants. 2018, they sucked.
Or I think I'm just reading too much into the Saquon being good, not the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants were never. They never made it. Saquon never made the playoffs. Besides the year of the Vikings. The last time they were actually good was probably like 2015.
Yeah.
Even then,
unless you didn't.
Even then, they made the playoffs and lost.
I mean, when you played the Vikings in the playoffs.
Shut the hell up! We were so good that year. We were going to win the Super Bowl.
Until the 9-8 Giants with. Oh, this is the marching band one with Cal. Yeah. What is it? It's Cal and Stanford, isn't it?
The band is on the field. So that'll do it for this episode of Talking About Balls. Hopefully next time we see you guys, the NBA Finals are still going on. Because I hope the Mavs do not lose it 4. We'll see you guys next week on Talking About Balls.